Jason, it's a magical time of the year, right?
It's my favorite time. Yep.
It's absolutely my favorite time. And today is one of those special days, one of those days when hopefully I spend other people's money and not my own.
Right. Hopefully so. That's always a good thing. You get to shop without incurring the cost.
Now, I haven't looked at your list yet, so that could be dangerous. But most of the stuff on my list is already spent cost because it's things that I've bought over the last several months or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
so today, if you haven't caught on, is the day we're going to do our holiday shopping stuff. And this one's going to be a little different. I mean, I know we've always done tech and all that kind of stuff, but we're just going to talk about some cool stuff that we
Yeah.
think you should consider on your wish list or on the list for somebody else. And I think we've got a pretty broad range of prices for stuff. Definitely got some practical things um, on the list. So yeah, we're there's not a whole lot of follow up. There's not a whole lot of current news. So we're pretty much just gonna dive into how you should spend your money this Christmas. How's that sound?
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds good. Also, do something a little different. Uh, One of my choices is not really my choice. It's me looking for advice. So when we get to that section, I'll let everyone know. And I kind of want everyone's opinion on this. If you can, like we always say, jump in that comment section, shoot us a message, and let us know what I should be getting in in that in that category of gift. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. So, but it sounds like a good episode. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's hit the music. This is the Gadgets for Families show, tech show, life show. Grandpa's complaining about everything show, or Grandpa's always have opinion show, whatever you want to call it. This is the Gadgets for Families show. Now, I'm one of your hosts, Greg Cunningham.
And I'm your other host, Jay Benjamin. Thank you guys for joining us. And yeah, this is, I think, both of our favorite time of the year. We enjoy it, not just the shopping and the gift giving, but just being with family and everything. I love Christmas music. I'll listen to it from Thanksgiving all the way to January. And yeah, yeah, this is a busy time of the year for us, but still, I still take the moment to enjoy everything that I
Yeah, I mean, put it this way: the first week I got the new trailer, right? I put up my Christmas tree and my Christmas
like.
lights. So,
Yeah,
and I don't know why you wait till Thanksgiving to listen to Christmas music.
yeah. Tradition.
It's my go to relieve stress music.
Yeah,
So like
same
when I'm
here.
really feeling stressed out, it doesn't matter if it's July, I'm going to throw on my Christmas playlist. And every year I make a
Really?
new annual playlist. So I've got like 3 or 4 years worth. I make a new playlist. I'll pull my favorites from the year before, pull in the
Hmm.
new music that gets released. So yeah. Yeah, so I'll Christmas music all the time. So,
Okay. So
yep. Don't blow up the
I guess I
comments.
never.
I already know. I already
Yeah,
know.
people
It's
gonna
it's
have opinions.
it's like wearing brown colors after April or whatever it is, right? I know. I know. Just get over it. I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm set in my ways. Just deal.
So I never thought about listening to it. I'm like you. It is a stress reliever for me. I do love it, but I never thought about listening to it all year round. And I know some people do. Maybe I'll give it a try. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I just,
listen to it constantly during
yeah,
the rest of the year. I mean, starting in about October, because I'm not a big Halloween fan, right? So
yeah.
starting in about October is when I'll actually start really putting it into the rotation. But any of those times where I'm just like super, super stressed and I need me a pick me up, I listen to it a lot to fall asleep. So my brain
Okay.
will shut down.
Hmm.
So anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give it a try.
All right. So yeah, most wonderful time of the year, super exciting. Um, you get to stress about what to buy. So let's just do a little bit of a disclaimer here. Number one, don't go into insurmountable debt to buy
Yeah,
people gifts for
yeah.
Christmas, right? Don't compromise.
Especially the
Yeah.
especially dad or grandpa, and the man in your life. Some men, they really love gifts, but um, no, we don't need them. We don't need it, and we
I
don't
mean,
want you to be in debt because
you
of it.
want to get me some socks or a new tie. I know that sounds
Yeah,
cliche. Cool, right? But I'm actually wearing a pair of Grogu socks at the moment. So, that kind of stuff is fine. But the reality is, at least for us, right? If we want something that's a little pricier, we're just going to go get it.
yeah, we're gonna go online.
So, yeah. So, but just in general, it's just not worth it. And just being together actually is important. My son flew in from Houston to surprise his mom um, for Thanksgiving, and then he'll be back out here at Christmas. And so, getting together with family, and I'm gonna cook a whole bunch of turkey on Thursday. We're gonna actually cook a turkey in the oven because I've got an oven, a real oven now,
Nice.
and then smoke a couple of different kinds of turkey. We'll probably do one with a Brazilian seasoning, and then one with either just regular seasoning or maybe like a maple kind of seasoning that I do. But
Oh,
that'll go in the
that
smoker
sounds
for
good.
yeah. So but both of my boys will be here, and my youngest son said he's eating for 7. So, you know,
He has to make up for lost time,
yeah, yeah. So, anyway, most wonderful time of the year. Don't go into debt. That's why there's a few things on here that are like super practical when you get to my list. One of the
Yeah.
things that we bought our kids, so I'm big into emergency preparedness, right? And if you live in the Houston area, you absolutely should be big into emergency preparedness. But
Yeah.
one year we bought everybody life straws, the bottles with the life straws in them. So basically, you can stick those, you can scoop up water from pretty much anywhere
Hmm.
and drink it through those straws, and it filters out all the gick. So, sometimes practical stuff. So I do have some practical things on my list for this year
Yeah.
too. So let's,
Yeah. Good idea on that gift.
yeah,
That will come into handy. Hopefully, it would never come into handy, but if it ever did, then yeah, good gift.
it's one of those gifts that you never want to have to use, but if you ever need it, boy, are you going to be grateful that you have it, right? And I've got one of those on my list for today. Now, the thing is, some of that stuff is not cheap, but if you're going to buy expensive things, practical stuff is good, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, let's dive in, Jay. We're going to start with our tech list. So, Jay, I'll go first in both categories. We'll do tech stuff
Okay.
first, and then we'll do non-tech. So, I haven't looked at Jay's stuff yet, so I'm gonna pull it up as he's talking, and um, let's do this.
Yeah. So not a lot of now that I know I have people listening, family listening to the show. So I'm not going to include a lot of stuff that's on their Christmas list. A lot of this stuff is stuff that I want, and it's stuff that I would recommend someone to buy. So, but quick story, real quick. Like Greg said, brand new trailer, got everything set up, and he started decorating for Christmas. Well, he sent me a picture, and he has a lot of LED lights
Oh, jeez.
around the interior, and a lot of his tree is lit up real nice and stuff. And I really like the idea. To be honest, I thought it looked more like a bachelor pad. So my first thought was like, how did the wife like it? He was like, oh no, she loved it. She loved it. So taking a cue from Greg, um, this year my daughter's it was her turn to choose the Christmas tree. We kind of change our theme every year, and we have something fun, something colorful, things like that. So we needed something quick and easy this year. I really wanted uh, a fresh tree. I wanted to get just a fresh what is it, like a Douglas fir or something like that. And but they take up so much room, so time consuming, keep adding water, all of that. So anyway, long story short, we went quick and easy. So what we've decided was these Govee curtain lights, Greg, and I think you and I talked about these um, when you were looking for the half tree and everything that you decided on. Well, this one, it has different holiday themes, and one of the themes, it has a Christmas tree that it shows in the LED picture with snowflakes falling from it. And that's going to be our Christmas tree this year. We're going to hang it from the ceiling, and and choose that theme. And they have different patterns and stuff too. And we're going to play around with the custom settings and stuff like that. But they had it 33% off for Black Friday. It's a little pricey, but after my wife and I sat down and talked about the price for the fresh tree and then buying new ornaments because she wanted a Astros theme because she plays softball for the Astros Little League and she wanted an Astros theme and you already know that ornaments with any kind of MLB or NFL logo on it is going to be priced outrageous. So we settled on this. We figured it'll be comparable price and that's what we went with. So that's our Christmas tree for the year. It's the Govee LED light curtains.
I just added that to my cart. I don't know if I'll pull the trigger because it is a little pricey, but
Yeah,
that is like really cool. I don't know if I like it more than my half tree,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that is pretty cool.
So we thought about that too, and like I said, after the ornaments and the added more like because we would have to buy new lights for that one anyway, right? So yeah, yeah, we went with that. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how it works out. I'm gonna attempt to hang it and put the LEDs closer together, and then weight the bottom so they'll all hang like taut,
Hmm.
like right. There's no slack, there's no waviness in it. So I'm gonna put some weights at the bottom and kind of get that slack out of each string, and yeah, we'll see how it works out. We'll see. I'll be sure to send pictures.
And I'll just let everybody know we're going to put links to a whole bunch of this stuff in the show notes. They will not be Amazon affiliate links. That's never worked out well for Jay and I, so
Okay.
we do not have
Yeah.
Amazon affiliate anything, but we'll put all the links to this stuff in the or as many of these things as we can in the show notes. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You wanna we want round robin or you want me to jump
nah,
to the
just
next one?
go
Okay.
for it.
So this one is one I recommend to everyone. So I've been recommending this to my sister-in-law. My brother has one, but it's not HomeKit, even though his entire family is iOS. Everyone. This is the time to buy it, right? I actually saw one. It's an older model, but it still works in HomeKit. It still works wirelessly and all of that. But a HomeKit door lock. And again, I'm not going to recommend a specific brand because this is just a general gift. But if you take a look at the link that I sent, this one is an Akara one, and this is I believe, their oldest model, right? But you get your keypad on the outside, which is what we use here. We use a different brand, but inside it still has a deadbolt that you can twist and turn manually, and you can lock and unlock it and get notifications, through your phone through HomeKit, right? No, right into iOS. So um, really, really good. Starter line. You know what I mean? If you want something more expensive and more features and stuff, now this is one where you can type in the code that you choose or tap your phone on it. And like I said, really good deal right now. It's like 47%
Yeah,
off.
still on. Yep.
I know they play around with this as the week goes on because I believe Friday and Cyber Monday are going to be the best deals, right? So if you don't want to pull the trigger on it now, check back on it Friday
Although
or
I
right
will
before
tell
Black
you,
Friday.
so you kind of got to keep your eye on this stuff. So what
Yeah.
was it? Friday night, I think it was last Friday night. I threw several things in my cart on
Hmm.
Amazon, but it was like at 11 o'clock at night, right? And I was like, I'm not going to hit the buy button. I'll wait and do it in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was some pants and it was some water bottles and a couple of things like that. And they were all on really good Black Friday Amazon deals. And when I came back Saturday morning, they were gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So keep an eye
So
on those deals. And also some things may drop down even more, right?
yeah.
I remember my mesh system. Remember, I had been looking for it for a while. I've been wanting to upgrade to a mesh system for a while. The best price I saw was around Black Friday. Added it to my like just to a watch list, right? Not to the cart. When I finally got into the cart, the sale was over, and then what was it like Prime Day or something the next year? It was even cheaper than Black Friday. So and I know we're talking months later, the price goes down, new generations come out, older technology gets cheaper, but it was an even better price. So If you're thinking about getting into HomeKit, I would think a smart lock would be your first step. Well, maybe smart switches and stuff like that, and we'll talk about that in a few. But this is a good product to have, be able to manage your door. So the next one I got, and this one is for me, and it's more of a company purchase. It's any cheapo sound bar, right? I've seen some sound bars so far, and they've been like on sale for like $200, but they're down from like $300 or something like that. No, I'm not looking for that at all. I'm looking for that Walmart doorbuster $19
Mm,
sound bar. You know what I mean? So, and this one's going in the shed. It's going to get greasy and oily, and it's going to be, I just needed to sound better than the TV speakers. That's all I need. I just need a step up from that. I don't need a HomePod. I don't need an
I was
awesome,
just gonna
I mean,
say
surround
you should
sound.
look for a refurb HomePod Mini
I thought about that. So I do have an Alexa out there,
because you've
and
got. Do you have Apple TV out there now, or is that in your?
yes, no,
Okay,
I have
yeah,
the
yeah.
Apple TV. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it would work in concert with the Apple TV. Maybe I'll look into that. Maybe I should just invest a little more. But when I say cheap, yeah, I was looking for like $30. I wasn't. I'll take a look at the refurbs and see if they have any on the website. But um, yeah, cheapo sound bar, and this is really a company purchase, not really mine. Even though it's for me to listen to while I'm out there. So the next one I have, and I added this one to the list, even though I said I wasn't going to include family, because some listen, but everyone knows I'm getting an iPad for my granddaughter. She waits for my grandson to go to sleep to take a nap, and she jumps on his iPad, and she'll here's another crazy story. She sent me a video late one night, and it was always of her looking at the iPad because I could see the glow on her face, and she's listening. Uh, I see her playing her little game, and I hear Greg talking in the background, and I immediately recognize your voice. But when he was laying in the bed with me, she turned over. She's like, "Is that Greg?" And I'm like, "Yes." So she taps on the podcast app and she hits play on Gadgets for Families, and just to hear her grandpa talk. So we at least know we're talking to one listener because she listened to the show on my grandson's iPad. Yeah, she thought it was the craziest thing, so she recorded her. She didn't realize she was being recorded, but she's just sitting there playing her little game, listening to me and Greg go on and on about, I don't know, something with Apple or something like that. So anyway, I have to get her an iPad. Um, Whenever I call or the grandma calls, um, they fight over the device. Like they fight over it, and they need to be able to call him and then call her on FaceTime so that she doesn't feel left out or feeling like, because they're at that age where you tell them to share, but they don't want to share. So, but I say all that to say this: I'm not really set on getting her a 10th gen. I don't know. What do you think about that, Greg? I think that's way too overpowered for her, and I know I'll future proof it by getting her latest gen. I just don't think she needs it. What do you
Well,
think?
what are you gonna get, right? I mean, I guess you can. I'm looking in the certified refurbished shop right now. Your
And I
other
saw some
options
good,
are the
some ninth
mini.
gen.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna get her a mini.
there's even so there's refurb 10th gens in there right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't, I
yeah.
didn't, I didn't see. The last time I checked, there was no 10th gen. And you know what? I don't think I checked. I checked around the time when they were doing that mini refresh.
What I think is funny, so I'm looking at this right now, and I don't understand this, but the refurb 10th gen is 299, and a refurb ninth gen is 379.
Is it the capacity?
Yeah, I mean 64 versus 256.
No, I think problem solved. Yeah, there's a 299 pink 64 gig 10th gen. Yeah, problem solved.
Yeah, I mean that's my wife's using it and hasn't sniffed It hasn't
Okay.
had any issues. And but all three of my grandkids, well, two of them have them, right? Because I had to buy two anyway. Whatever I bought, right?
Yeah.
Back in the when I was spending all that money on iPads. Yeah. So 10th gen, 10th gen.
Yeah, I was kind of on the fence about it, but I'm like, we get to this, we probably won't have to get her anything else until she's,
I was worried about them adapting to using the swipe instead of having the home button, but my
hmm
granddaughter has not had problems with it at all.
Okay, caught on pretty
So,
fast.
yep.
Face ID and all of that was fine. She adjusted to that.
She
All right.
doesn't have Face ID on it. So,
Okay. So just the passcode
it's
or no passcode
yeah, I don't think this one's Face ID. I think this one's Touch ID in
in the button. That's right.
isn't it Touch ID in the button?
See. Yeah, I admit I
Yeah,
hadn't looked
top
at it.
button
I
Touch
hadn't looked.
ID. So, it's Touch
Okay,
ID. So,
I hadn't looked
but yeah,
into it much. Just
we just use passcode.
okay.
So, yep.
Yeah,
That's the one you should get.
299. They do have this pink one. It's in stock. Okay. Yeah, I think problem solved.
And
I
I would
and I
look
know
to
it's just
see.
saving 50
I
bucks.
mean,
I just didn't know if she needed all of that power. You know
well,
what I mean?
what's Apple's? Remember, so that's the refurb, right? So if I go look at the 10th gen to purchase, pink 64 Wi-Fi, skip the engraving, no Apple Pencil, no trade-in, just buy it outright. What is Apple's? I wonder if you get a $50 gift card to go along with that, and then you could get the brand new one for the same price.
Oh, that that would sweeten the deal.
What is Apple's Black Friday? I haven't looked, to be honest. Let me look it up real fast. Apple Black Friday.
Get a $200 gift card on eligible products. So it just says eligible products. I wonder if that's their Black Friday deal.
Yeah, it should be. I'm gonna look at Mac Rumors and because they did an article and I think they'll have it laid out which ones are which. But I mean, if you can get a $50 gift card to go along with it, you might as well. You're spending the same amount of money, but it's brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, their refurb devices. We know this, right? Their refurb devices are absolutely no problem, right? They are rock solid. So, um,
And it says get
let's see.
up to $100 gift card with an Apple iPad.
Okay, so no, that's not what I wanted.
Get four.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I think I'll look into this because it's saying up to $100.
yeah. So I mean, if you're getting that, then might as well get the brand new one and get the gift card. It's not like you won't ever
Yeah.
use the gift card. So that's for starting on the 29th. So that's Friday. Um, iPad says up to $100 when you buy the Pro, iPad Air, or iPad 10th Gen. So I mean, you're going to get something.
Yeah.
So
I'll check it out, but I just wasn't too sure if she needed the power because, like we did our little review on the 10th gen. It is a really good.
yeah,
We always make that joke, like they say every year, this is our best iPad ever. And yeah, this year the 10th gen is the best iPad ever. So
all right.
yeah, just keep it in there. Um, so what's next for me is one of my favorite things to do. My absolute favorite thing to do on Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and just throughout this whole shopping season is to just go to Amazon, select, because the little search thing changes, right? So you can do all categories, or you can choose lightning deals, or you can choose holiday deals, or you can choose Black Friday. Just go to Black Friday, and I just type in HomeKit, and I search for. Um, Pretty much whatever comes up, whatever comes, good deals, right? Look, we always know infamously, frugal on this show, so I always love a good deal, and especially on the things that I'm looking for anyway. So, a couple of things I'm looking for to replace the camera in the garage. It's just a cheap, I can't even think of the brand name on there. It's just a cheap Wi-Fi camera. Um, it records pretty good, but I'm looking to replace that with a HomeKit camera, and I want that video feed. in with the rest of the cameras that I have, right? I don't want to look at a separate app just to look into the garage. So whatever HomeKit camera comes up that's reasonable. I did see some with pan and tilt capabilities and all of that. I don't really need that because I'm only looking in the garage, but um, hey, if it's there, I'll take advantage of it. Some more Hue outdoor lights. So I have most of my landscape lighting and the soffit lighting on the front of the house is all Hue lights. Um, I was telling you, Greg, I wanted you to get some outdoor lighting and stuff for the grandkids so they can adjust like the colors and for the holidays and put themes and stuff up. I want to add some more lights just to add uh, some more color and stuff outside. And anything else that catches my eye. Um, like I said, I was looking for a smart lock, but any other type of HomeKit uh, kind of kind of tool that I want to try out, whether it's like I see you had something on your list when I just glanced, but something to monitor like the water and stuff like that. Uh, maybe um, um, not necessarily a sprinkler system, but there's some that you can hook to like your water faucet just to manage the water output, to check for leaks and things like that. So yeah, just anything that catches my eye, including a speaker with that may be HomeKit compatible or something. I may jump on that. So yeah, just anytime you're on Amazon, if you're looking to start your uh, HomeKit or anything, not just HomeKit stuff. But when you go to Amazon and you go to search, it may not be like this on a mobile app. I'm really on the browser most of the time. But where it says all when you do your search, just hit that drop down and select Black Friday, select Prime Day, select lightning deals, whatever time of the year you're looking for, and just type in HomeKit and see what comes up. And yeah, there's usually some really good deals, some really deals. And like Greg said, make sure you when you add it to the cart, you're either ready to purchase or just keep an eye on it because that price will fluctuate up and down pretty quickly. Some of these deals come and go really quickly. So the last thing I had was Plex Pass. So Plex is, you're familiar with Plex, so it's what we use to manage our um, home music, home videos. We have some music videos and now audiobooks too. We have audiobooks stored on NAS here at the house, network attached storage, and Plex allows us to manage it. So think about having all of these files and stuff. You have some old movies, some old DVD rips that you have, or hits that you threw away years ago. Home movies, like recordings and stuff that you've done for yourself. Again, music videos, and you have all of these files stored away on a hard drive. But what Plex does, basically, it does so much more than this. But what it does is it gives you an interface to look at your home videos and makes it look like Netflix or Prime Video or one of these streaming services, right? It gives it a nice background. It has all of the details about the episodes and the shows and the actors and stuff like that. It basically gives your personal library a more streaming service like view to it. You know what I mean? And again, it does so much more. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing the lifetime pass on there. It's just $89 for Black Friday. The regular price is like $130 or something. So thinking about doing that, or I'm thinking about asking my sons to put together and get that for me for Christmas. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about it, but I'm heavily leaning towards it.
Yeah, I mean, people have a lot of good things to say about Plex because you can get to it from anywhere and
Right?
all that kind of stuff. So we just do not have that much media. My sister's been going through and converting all of the old VHS and that kind of stuff over to
Yeah.
digital, but we just don't have that much. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard it's fantastic.
So I was like your sister at one point, like just spending my weekends just using Handbrake, and there was another one I can't remember the name of it, but I was just sitting there all day on my old compact laptop and just freeing up space in the home, right? Because DVDs, even though they're this little, but when you have several hundred of them. They take up a lot of room, and yeah, taking them and ripping them, and then taking those and DVDs and selling them on OfferUp for like a box of 50 for like $50 or something like that. It would always fluctuate depending on the movies, but yeah, I remember selling them and freeing up so much space in my home by getting rid of those old DVDs. So yeah, I'm with her. She may want to look into getting Plex too. All right. So what do you got, Greg? I didn't have much. So and I see you don't have much on your list,
Nah, for the
and we
this
have
stuff,
some overlap.
I'm less excited about the tech stuff. I'm more excited about some of my non-tech stuff. But
Me too.
so the Christmas lights I got, these are the Minitom Christmas lights. Now remember when I bought these, I did not buy the Govees because I bought all three of these
Yeah.
Minitom ones for the price of one Govee.
Yeah.
So they aren't quite as flexible as I wish they were. I found some quirks like one set won't slow down as much as the other two sets, and
Really? And they're all the
yeah.
same set, right? They're all the same.
Well,
You just kind of daisy chain them.
one was you can't daisy chain. They're not designed to daisy chain. But
Okay.
one of the sets was a shorter set, and the other two were longer. So the one
Oh,
that's on the
okay.
tree was a shorter set, and it's got just a little bit different behavior. I also didn't like that when I tried to specify the colors that I wanted, the yellow actually was orange. So something weird going on there. But again, I paid like $29. Actually, that
Yeah.
set was on sale. I think I paid $15 for it. So, but they're good. I mean, if you're on a budget and want those next year, I might upgrade. But they all came with remotes, but all remotes work with all the sets. So, like, I can turn them all on and
Okay.
off with one remote, and they do have the app. It's not quite as programmable like the Govees, where you can basically program every pixel, right?
Hmm.
But good enough for what we're using them for, and the kids love it. And
Yeah.
when my youngest grandson comes over, I have to turn the one up on the loft where he plays blue because that's his favorite color. So it's currently set to all blue instead of Christmas colors. But so those are good. I don't know what price they are right now for Black Friday. Let me just look. I hadn't looked that up.
Yeah. I'm seeing 20% off here.
Yeah,
Um,
so I've got two of the 99-foot and one of the 66-foot ones. But the 66-foot one was on at a better price. It was like $12 or something like that at the time. So
okay.
you can get a
Okay.
30% coupon on top of the 16% off
Right.
on the
Yeah, I see that.
66-foot one. So
So how are the colors though, at least? Because
they're good.
I know you said programmable is one downside, but as long as the colors are bright,
Oh
you
yeah,
have it set to a nice color.
I've got them, and I've got the brightness turned way down because otherwise they're just way
Okay.
too bright for this space. So
Okay, good. Good.
yeah, yep. So I'd recommend those if you're on a budget. If you're not on as much of a budget, then go to the Govies. That might be a next year thing for me. The next one, I already talked about these. These are those outlet surge protectors that I got, the ones that
Yep.
plug straight in and they can rotate. They've got 6 plugs plus USB, 2 USB A's and a USB C. They've just been rock solid for
Yeah.
what I've been doing. So if you're tired of having the cables associated with the surge protector, this
Hmm.
is the way to go. So,
Yeah.
um,
So Greg,
so
you recommended that one to me. I have it plugged in right here because I told you it was a wired mess down here on the floor. Right here.
yeah,
And it cleaned it up nicely. It looks really good. I don't want to show it on camera because
yeah,
it's still a wire mess, but it cleaned it up nicely. It got all of those wires off of the floor. I can sweep there without having to move each wire around. And yeah, I liked it. It was a good tip. So
yeah,
I think
and they're
this is a
cheap.
good one, guys.
They're like $10 a piece or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah. My next one is the iPhone, the Atom Studio iPhone leatherback, because
Yeah.
I love not having a full case, although it did take a tumble on the concrete and the asphalt, and so I've got a little bit of scratching on the case and some of the titanium band around the edge. It is not
Hmm.
indestructible, the titanium, as strong as it is, but absolutely love these phone backs. It's something I wish I had many versions ago. So
Right. Right.
Um,
So you
the
sent
next,
me, we talked about those before you pulled the trigger, and you went with the Atom Studios. I was going with the Atom Studio, and at the last minute saw a clear version from the Sudi
right.
brand, and went with that one. Took a week to deliver. They finally delivered it, and around the camera, it just doesn't sit well on the phone. So I reached out to customer support, complained to them. They sent me a replacement one and said keep the old one. So now I have two of them, but I still regret that purchase. I should have went with the Atom Studio.
Yeah.
Should have went with it.
Yeah, but I mean, we learn.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
even though there's a rumor that there's another version of AirTags coming out, I still can't recommend AirTags highly enough.
yeah.
I mean, that they've got some new things, like, and one of the other ones on my list is the wallet that I got. It's Air Wallet, minimalist wallet. Again, the link will be in the notes. So it's got Find My capability, but it's not all of the Find My capability. So, like, I can't do the precision finding, so it must have an older version of that chip, right? The Find My chip in it. So, but the AirTags are just so solid. What Apple's done with the Find My network is just
Yeah.
phenomenal. So, and you can find usually you can find 4 packs for like $75. So it's basically getting one free, right?
Yeah.
So
So this
can't
was some of that
recommend those highly
overlap.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, this was overlap I talked about. AirTags are definitely on my list for this year. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I told you offline, but someone showed like travel bag on the last cruise
Yep.
we were on,
Yep.
and it had all of the ports that we've been to. And again, we're talking cheap $3 magnets. I think the most that I spent on a magnet in port is like maybe $6 or $7. You know what I mean? Nothing terribly expensive. Uh, I'm not too torn up over it, but we actually been to every port and pulled one. I don't understand why anybody would want that besides to lie and say that they've been to all of those places. But yep, the next one, AirTag is going on it, and I'm going to go right to their stateroom and say, "Hey, someone accidentally dropped my banner in your room. I need it
Yeah.
back."
Yep. Then the other one, I don't know how strongly I can recommend this. Probably not strongly enough. But if you are using any Apple devices at this point, I don't see a reason why you would choose anything other than Apple AirPods or maybe the Beats
Yeah.
stuff. They are just so integrated in from a pairing standpoint. And now they've got so many different versions of the AirPods that you should be able to pick a version that has enough of the features that fit your budget,
Hmm.
right? I mean, you've got the AirPods 4, there's two different versions of those. You've got the AirPods Pro, plus you can still find some of the older AirPods floating around on different sites and stuff like that too. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you want to go spend $125 on a stocking stuffer, but this is the kind of thing that's just
Yeah.
unreal value that you get for these things, and they last for a very, very long time unless you abuse them like I do and run the battery down. But and then get the Apple Care on them, because anything goes wrong, you just have them send you the replacement and you move on. So there's for most people, you're going to find a version of AirPods that fit your feature requests and your budget with the range that they have of them there. Now, the last one, I've got this in my tech stuff. I don't know if it's really tech or not. It kind of is, but this is not HomeKit anything. This is more old school. So these are the Top Vico water leak sensors, and I actually have 6 of them. They come in a 3-pack. I actually have 6 of them placed in strategic locations around my rig. Now, my rig is not set up right. I could put in something that's supposed to turn off the water automatically if it detects a leak or something like that, right? I could do
Hmm.
all of those kinds of things. But what these are designed to do are just to be put in places where I can't easily see
Yeah.
if water's dripping. So I've got one underneath the shower plate. I've got one underneath all the hookups where the washer and dryer would go, even though we don't have a washer and dryer here. I've
Hmm.
got one underneath the hot water heater. I've got a couple underneath sinks, and then I've got one underneath the water tank itself in the undercarriage or the underbelly of the trailer. And these things, when they go off, they whine, and you hear them. This is how I knew that I hadn't really fixed my fresh water intake the one day, because I thought it was good to go, and
Yeah.
I came back in the trailer an hour or so later and started hearing, and yep, that's where it was coming from, and it is. So it's just it takes a 9-volt battery, and my original ones that I bought 2 trailers ago. So the first
Hmm.
trailer I bought those on, the 9 volts are still rock solid in those things, because there's no electricity at all until the water hits the circuit. It's just a little circuit board.
Yeah.
That's all it is, right? And water hits it, closes the circuit, and um, it starts whining at you. So they have an on-off
Yeah.
switch. Um, and they come with a little sticky thing. So if you wanted to stick the speaker somewhere different from the sensor, you can absolutely do that. So yeah, I mean, these are great. They're not very expensive, but it's just the peace of mind that means I don't have to get underneath or open up the access panels to the water heater or the connections or any of those kinds of things,
Yeah.
because it's going to tell me if I start to have a water problem.
So I just hit add to cart. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. This is the definition of overthinking a problem, right? I knew I needed and I wanted water sensors a couple of places around the house, but in my mind, I'm like, let me find a good deal on a HomeKit one, right? Because there's some in HomeKit, crazy expensive, but there's plenty of water sensors that are HomeKit or smart. You know what I mean? It has an app compatible. I mean, this is $15. You get 3 of them. You won't believe how much time I spend tracking down moisture. I live in an older home, right? Always tracking down moisture, seeing where if something's leaking water, just checking, using the old paper towel method. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Something
yep,
like
yep,
that. Yeah, I was overthinking that problem. $15, problem solved. I don't know why I didn't think that, hey, it doesn't have to be so complicated. It doesn't have to be smart. It doesn't have to be, yeah, this is just a battery and a sensor, and I can just leave it and wait to hear the sensor. Yeah,
yep,
add it to cart. Yeah, good find on this. I
yep.
still do want one in HomeKit, but waiting on one to go on sale or clearance or something like that. No, $15. Moving on. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
good
but what do
find.
you get? So here's the thing. So let's say it's HomeKit enabled and you get an alert.
Yeah,
Unless you've also bought the valve that's HomeKit enabled that can shut off your water main, what are you
yeah,
going to do about it? Right? I mean, somebody still has to go over to the house, figure out where it is, and hit the
right.
switch. At least this one's going to tell you when somebody's around that something's going on. And it's so dang loud that you'll be able to go right to wherever it is, right? You'll know
Yeah,
exactly which one is going up. It's like 120 something decibels.
yeah.
So,
I saw it. It was pretty loud on the
yeah,
yeah. Okay,
it
yeah,
will
I like
trigger
that.
your Apple Watch to say you're in a loud environment for sure.
Yeah, yeah, good find on this one. Oh,
Yep.
really overthinking that problem.
All right, so that's my tech stuff. Um, let's get into the non-tech stuff, but I'm going to tell you first and foremost, Jason, I do not like your first pick. You can go on this first pick, and then I'm going to tell you why I do not like it.
Okay, so it's crazy that I like this so much. Is because I actually secretly want one. So this is super low tech, but I think it's really going to make a big impact this Christmas. I'm hoping so, but kids, you get them things and they like to play with the box more than they like to play with what you
Mm-hmm.
actually got there. So this is a Bubble Princess magic wand. This thing lights up. It's a scepter, like a princess scepter. It has wings on it. It has a little crown. It has LED lights that turn around in the at the top of the scepter, and it shoots bubbles out of the top. Coolest thing ever, coolest thing ever. I can't wait to play with this with my granddaughter. And I think that again, I'm excited for her, but I'm more excited for me because I want to see this thing in action. So a Princess Scepter, Bubble, Magic Wand, whatever you want to call it, light music, LED lights on it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be really cool. So $13 for Black Friday.
Okay, so my grandkids are into bubbles, and I don't have a problem with bubbles. My
Okay.
reason I don't like this is when we were at Disney in September.
Hmm.
They sell these kinds of things all over the park, and they do not restrict them. So
Oh,
you're
okay.
walking through the park with a churro in your hand,
And
and you're
bubbles are
all of a sudden walking through a mass of bubbles. Or they've just got them hooked on the stroller, and they're pushing the stroller along, and the bubbles are going
okay.
everywhere. And so I thought that was extremely inconsiderate,
Right.
right? And I
Right.
think that's super, super disruptive to everybody in the park that's not blowing
Yeah.
bubbles. So it's not that I have a problem with bubbles, because we regularly resupply bubbles at our house for the grandkids, but it's
Hmm.
that there's a time and a place. And in
Yeah.
my opinion,
Yeah.
Disney was not the time and place to just have those bubbles going all the time with 85,000 people walking
Right.
through the same
Right.
park.
Because it is bubbles is still just soap and water. Right. It can
Well,
still
and
pop in someone's eye and
if you get the
make their
wrong
surface
kind, they
slippery.
stain, and if they get on your
Yeah.
food, it's going to
Yeah.
taste nasty. So yeah, that's why I just didn't think that was appropriate.
Right. Right. Well, looking forward to ruining a lot of people's day with this, but we're gonna play with it at home and stuff too. I do see at certain events that we go to, I do see those same dealers, those same vendors that, well, I can't even call them vendors because we call them like ring vendors, right? Because they can just throw everything on a cart, on a stroller, and just kind of walk through it and sell unauthorized at the market. And the sellers that usually have like 15 of them lined up and all kinds of swords, and they're making all kinds of noise and shooting bubbles everywhere. And yeah, certain surfaces, those bubbles land on make that surface pretty slippery. Not
Mhm.
concrete, of course, but um, definitely some kind of smooth surface that can be a hazard. But
Yep.
yeah, I still, if you're looking for a gift for a little girl, I think this was the perfect one. This was number one on my list, and so far, the only gift that I purchased that I'm actually excited for with along with the kids. So yeah, yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. So next, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So I need recommendations for myself, not just for this is not for a specific gift, but some kind of arts and crafts. So, and let me tell you what I'm in between. I'm in between one of those art sets that you buy from Walmart or Amazon, and it has pencils and colors and paints and markers and you know uh, uh, an easel, and you get a pack, and it's just like an arts and craft pack for maybe $30 or something, or all the way up to maybe like a 3D printer, not a super expensive 3D printer, but like a good like all in one, or like they're not vinyl cutters. Well, they cut vinyl, but they're like the laser cutters or whatever.
Hmm.
Some kind of recommendation on that. So it can be really techy, um, but also too just any kind of arts and craft supplies for that one person that we're that's really crafty right now, really artsy. Always finding different projects to do on her own, uh, without us having to guide her through. Now, I know if it's something like a 3D printer, Dad's going to have to help her out with, figuring out, settings and stuff. But yeah, just some really artsy, crafty kind of ideas. So jump in that comment section, guys, and just let us know what you bought in the past, what may not be a good idea, what may be a good idea. I'm looking for any kind of recommendations right now. So
You should go check out whatever Cricut, CRICUT, whatever their latest recommendation is. So this was
okay,
when I lived in Houston. I actually stopped and bought Karen a big Cricut cutter, and it came with cartridges. I think they're all
hmm,
programmable now, right? Apps and stuff like that. But you used to put in the cartridge and tell it which one to print or which one to cut and how big, and
yeah,
you put in the paper or the vinyl or whatever the case may be. Check out and see what they have available. It was not
okay,
cheap, but it was so worth the money.
okay. So we do. I know what you mean. So Cricut is similar to the Cameo, the silhouette that we use in the shop, and we have an older version of that one that we cut our labels and stuff for the bags, and when we do T-shirts and stuff like that. Um, I didn't think about that, but yeah. a smaller version of that because I'm seeing here Cricket does have mini versions
Mm-hmm.
of those. Yeah, I think that may be one of these gift sets or something. So I'll take a look. And they have a
Cool.
$400 credit, and I know some of these too. Walmart and Target they'll have a like a Black Friday like special and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
So yeah, check that out. And the last one I had, really low tech, but something I've been wanting, and I think this is going to make everyone's load in a lot easier, are some flat canopy weights. So these weights, they weigh about 40 pounds each. Now we're using sandbags and I keep my old oil containers full of full of concrete and rocks and some of them have water in it just to weigh down each tent setup.
Right.
So now that the team is splitting up and we're all in different locations, I figured buying these flat weights, they stack, they're all flat, right? So they stack up easy, they load in and out easy. We can put them on the carts easy. Now that everyone's out at different locations, this will make everyone's job a lot easier, which is what I like to do, right? It's try to make everyone's job a little more easier. And so this is a company purchase, really low tech, but they make canopy weights that lay flat and they just kind of lock around the bottom of the leg and just lay flat on the ground. And there's no having to use straps. We use like the toe straps to that hooks to the top of the tent and it kind of weighs it down. Uh, no more of that. You can just take them, just throw them on the legs and move on to the next task. So I think I'll be buying a couple of sets of those for for anyone. So if you have a small business and you're like me having to deal with so much extra weight and carrying them around and stuff like that, um, you can slide them under the seat in your truck or your van, or whatever vehicle you're having to load your equipment with. And yeah, I think this is a really good idea. So just type in flat canopy tent weights. They're on Amazon, they're on Wayfair, and probably a few other places, but they're cheaper on Wayfair than they are on Amazon by about 25 bucks. But yeah, check them out. Flat canopy weights. The reviews say they stink though. So I don't know if you let me take that back. If you're dealing with food or have, some kind of sensitivity to heavy smells. They say they come with a real like heavy chemical smell, but if you leave them sitting outside for a week after you get them, leave them sitting out in the sun and the air, people say that it goes away. But when they're delivered to you, they have a really strong smell. So just be conscious of that. I've seen that review in multiple places, on multiple sites. So that real strong chemical smell. So and that was it for my low tech, Greg. What do you got?
I got a few things, but most of them are pretty practical. But
I didn't look up this first one. Let me look up this one while you talk about it.
so
I
Fire
was
Hero
curious about it.
Hero blankets, you can see these all over Amazon. So they come in a red pouch. There's two tabs you pull down if you've got a pan on fire or something else going on, and you just throw the blanket over, and it's durable. It cuts out the oxygen. So I've got one that sits with my outdoor cooking stuff, and I've got one that sits by the stove right here. So all four of my kids' households are getting one of these for Christmas. So they're not
Okay.
super cheap, but they've kind of got a good deal going on right now. I think I bought a pack of four for like $60. So yeah, Fire Hero blankets. Basically, it's just a blanket. Then instead of using um, a fire extinguisher, you throw the blanket over and let it kill out the oxygen. I mean, even their demos, they do it over a toaster, they do it over pans. You can reuse them, even though they look horrible after you use them.
Hmm.
So yeah, so
Okay.
that's one of those practical ones, right? If I think about my kids having their own homes and disaster or emergency prep and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Huh. Well, we have fire extinguishers in the we have a couple of them in the shop, but I'm gonna grab one of these. It wouldn't hurt to have one of these handy. Just hang it on the wall by one of the burners. There's two open flames in there at any time, so yeah, that'd be a good
yep.
idea to have one of these to the car.
So this next one, I'm not going to get into the politics associated with this next one.
Hmm.
But if you have firearms, particularly handguns, then one of the most important things that you need to be able to do is secure them. The last thing you need is a little one getting a hold of a firearm, even though you think they can't manage the firearm and having something happen. You do not want to go through that tragedy in your life. So the easiest way to secure them, right, is to put them in a gun safe. But if you have them for home protection and need them in a split
Yeah.
second, having them in a safe, this just doesn't work. So I thought this was an interesting intermediate. So this is a company called Stopbox USA. They've got a completely mechanical box that you can put your firearms in.
Hmm.
And basically, it's like a triple locking mechanism that if you don't do all three actions, including one of them that's a combination, it's a 4-digit, it's not a digit, but it's a 4 mechanism combination. There's no electronics. These are all mechanical. So there's no batteries. There's nothing that's going to fail like that.
Yeah.
And basically, you have to do all three things to get this thing to open.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of a sale they had a little while ago where it was buy one, get one free. And they've actually got that going on again right now, if I remember right. And so, I mean, this is something that you can secure a firearm in. Your kids are not going to be able to get into it. So, yeah, I bought 2 of these on their sale. They're exactly what they said they were. Changing out the combination for the 4 mechanisms on there is super, super
Hmm.
simple and easy to do. You do have to practice to be able to open it quickly.
Yeah.
But I love these. These were fantastic. So if you've got a gun enthusiast in your family or on your list, and this is a great purchase in my opinion. So again, I don't want to go into the politics of any of that kind of stuff, but I
Yeah.
really appreciated doing this. It's a U.S. company, and anyway, great
Yeah.
purchase.
I'm looking at the demo, and yeah, the guy is one-handed it. And like I said, I know, like you were saying, you probably need practice to practice opening it. But man, I'm watching this guy one-handed in an emergency, like really quick. He's just doing a quick little demo, and boom, like, a couple of seconds later, he has it open. He has his gun in his hand, and yeah, it looks like. So I see it on Amazon now. There's a good discount, a little pricey, but there was a good discount on it. Um, and you said there's a buy one get one free.
Yeah, you might want to go to their website. I thought I saw
Yeah.
on an Instagram ad that there was a buy one get one. It's Stopbox USA. So, but anyway,
Yeah,
you
I like
you
it.
have
I
to be
like it.
you have to be safe with this stuff. So, okay, my next one is, so in this new trailer that we have, it's a long trailer, and our bedroom lives at the very end of the heater. So, and there's really only one lane that runs from the heater. So by the time the heat gets to our bedroom, there's not a whole lot of air coming out of the vent there. And so
Mm,
we got a Drio Atom space heater. So if you search for space heaters on Amazon, Drio is one of the brands that's going to come up. So we got just this small one. We've been running it pretty much every night since we got it. It's got different modes. You can turn it on, just go and heat until you turn it off. It's got a timer. It's got all the safety features that you could want,
mm,
and then it's got one where you can just set it to the temperature, and so it kicks on and off as it reaches temperature. So, in the evening when it's cool
mhm.
over there, we turn it on, let it warm up the place, then we set it to the temp we want, and we just leave it. So it's
Okay.
super, super small, unobtrusive, and they have all kinds of them. They have all different sizes, all different capabilities, but for our bedroom, this thing has worked perfectly. So space heaters, you got to be safe with them. You got to follow the instructions. Don't use extension cords. Don't plug them into surge protectors. They need to go straight into the outlet. Don't put them right on your
Yeah.
bed, right? I mean, just be smart with this kind of stuff. But this one has been fantastic for us.
Okay. Doesn't look very big too, so it's a pretty good size.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's not
that's
very
good.
big, but they have all different sizes of them too, depending on the space that you need to heat. So
Okay.
I've got 2 fun ones coming up. One I just purchased, but we talked about this in one of our gaming episodes. Any of Grandpa Beck's
Right.
games. So I'm sitting here looking at them. We pulled them out since we've got my kids are going to be in town. We're going to be playing lots of games this week, and we have tried a new one. of his called Cover Your Kingdom. It's an enhanced version of Cover Your Assets, and it is way more fun than Cover Your
Hmm.
Assets. So it's like an advanced version of that. And we haven't even done the advanced rules on it yet. So we haven't got there. So, but any of Grandpa Beck's games, you cannot go wrong. If you pull up his website or go to anywhere that they're sold, I know here in Utah, for example, they're sold in Deseret Book, but um, if you see one that looks like a topic that's fun for you, I can't tell you how strongly I recommend that you get it, because they are just a blast, an absolute
Yeah.
blast.
So I remember you recommended this when I sent it to our family group chat, and we're getting together for the holidays. I'm going to remind everyone, hey, did any of these games catch your eye, so we can play it?
Yep.
And yeah, I'll grab one. Hey, I see they're on Amazon too. Oh,
Yeah.
and they're all one day and same day delivery. So
These things are all, I mean, the game we played last night, it's got different animals and they're, fantasy animals, but each of the cards was a little different. So the saying on the animal was different, or there's
hmm
one of the ones is a Vulcan, and one of the cards, the Vulcan doesn't show up because he's got his cloaking device on, right? I mean, it's just this nuanced little stuff. I mean, it's fantastic. So,
yeah.
and then yesterday we were in Walmart, and of course I took one of the grandkids to distract from the shopping and walk down an aisle, and I wanted him to look at both sides of the aisle, and he found the one toy that he just wouldn't take his eye off of, and there was only one. So then I had to take him back to his mom and grandma, and then I had to go back, and then that one was not in the right spot on the shelf. Somebody had grabbed it and moved it, so I'm glad I actually went back and got it. But as I was walking down one of the aisles, they have my sister had told me about this game. It's called Uno No Mercy. So
Okay.
this is like an extreme version of Uno, like the cutthroat kind of Uno. So
Okay.
it
Right.
doesn't just have draw 2 and draw 4, but it has draw 2, draw 4, draw 6, and draw 10s.
Okay.
And there is a mercy rule limit. So if you have 25 cards, you're out. So we played that. I don't know. We probably played a dozen hands of that last night. And one of the games, we actually mercy ruled Dustin before he even got to play a card.
That sounds like fun.
So, so Walmart or Amazon has it for $14, but it was on sale. It was on for $10 at Walmart. So that's
Yeah,
where I
I'm
picked it
seeing
up.
six
But
ninety nine at my Walmart down here. Yeah.
yeah, it is. It is really, really fun. So if you like Uno, it's Uno. But if you like Uno, this is one to do. It's got some specialty cards and stuff that aren't in the regular decks. So yeah, it was really, really, really fun.
Yeah, I like
One
that.
purchase that's not on the list that I actually just bought today, and I'll let you know how it goes. But if you've been on Instagram at all, you see the ads for Air Moto. It's this little small tire inflator that's a rechargeable, basically a rechargeable air compressor. So I did purchase one of those today
Hmm.
because with our trailer, you got to keep air in the tires. Otherwise, it starts to come off level. So I'll report back on that. But that one's been super, super popular. Also, not cheap, but like at 30% off right now or something like that. It's called Air Moto,
Nice.
AIRMOTO.
I'm surprised you didn't go with the Ryobi one, since you already have the batteries and everything. So
Yeah, well, this
inflator,
is
is it
also one that
inflator?
can just sit in the car.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So you don't have to manage the battery charging and
Yeah,
having the
yeah.
device.
Yep. So it's just
Yeah, I
designed for
see it's more
tires.
fun.
So yeah. And then my last two, we
Hmm.
bought. So when we bought our first trailer, if you're going to go boondocking, which means you're not hooked up to electricity, you don't always want to be running the lights in the camper to drain the battery. And so
Hmm.
we've tried all kinds of different sticky lights, battery powered lights, rechargeable lights, motion sensor lights. But these ones that I put in here are these ones that I have just started to absolutely love. So they're a strip LED light. They've got on or they've got auto, so the motion sensor, and then they've got basically 4 levels of brightness. On the back, it's magnetic, and then they come with sticky magnets that you put on the wall somewhere, and then you just pop this on. So, and it's USB-C rechargeable. So we've got 4 of these. We've got one right in the kitchen area and one in the bathroom for at night. So if you're walking in to go to the restroom in the middle of the night, one kicks on as you're walking past the kitchen counter, and another one
Mhm.
kicks on right before you get into the bathroom. But we also have the lights that they have above our bed, like if you wanted a reading lamp or something like that, are super, super bright. And so we actually mounted these right behind our heads, one on each side. These things are just super, super cool. The charges last quite a bit, especially if you keep them on the lowest end, and the lowest end is plenty light for the middle of the night kind of thing. So I just love
Okay.
um, these lights. So they're the best
Let me
ones I've
take a
tried,
look
and
at
I've
them.
tried probably 10 different kinds. Now the last one, here's the last one. This one's kind of funny. Paper towels. So when I've got a Blackstone, and when you clean it, you want to, get everything off, and you use water, and then you got to re-oil it. But if you use regular paper towels, they just leave all of the little white residue stuff all over the place, right? Because they fray
Yeah.
so super easy. These blue paper towels, so you can buy blue shop towels, right? Which are designed for a garage or whatever the case may be, and they're a little bit better. These ones actually are microfiber.
Okay.
So they
So they're not
we
exactly disposable. Kind of
they can
reusable, huh?
be, but you can reuse them as well.
Okay.
So like when I clean the Blackstone, I'm not going to reuse them, right? Because they're just going to
Right.
get all grease and
Yeah.
gross. But
Yeah.
I told Jason one of my chores Saturday was we cleaned all of the windows because this trailer had been transported through rain and snow. So, we had water all over on the windows and stuff. And so we did that. And we just literally rinsed all those towels. And now we have them as rags.
Yeah.
So, um, but they're not expensive. So we ordered a second batch of them because I don't want to use them for like paper towels, like when you're eating or something like that, right?
Right.
That's not what these are
Right.
designed for, but for rags around the house or any of that kind of stuff. So it was one of the YouTubers that does RVing that recommended these that I thought, oh, those are cool. So I grabbed a batch. And then when I got them, I was like, what are these? They really do feel like disposable microfiber paper towels. So very low
Yeah.
tech, very practical, but I like them.
Yeah. I like them too. I think yeah, when you need something more than a paper towel, but not necessarily a one of those, those microfiber or those shop towels, I think this would be perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything like this existed. This is really cool. And yeah, you can wash them and if it's light duty. So I always guess like someone who's into like cleaning their car or cleaning their trailer or something like that. This is that perfect kind of use case for it. But man, I could use some of these in the shop. Like, yeah, another
Yeah.
add to cart. Greg, you spent a lot of my money today. Not,
Well, at least it was on small practical things and not on big
yeah,
expensive things like iPad Pros.
yeah. I could use this. I can use
L-
this in the shop.
Trust me, I don't think if I pull the trigger on the curtain lights, I don't think everything you put in your cart from my recommendations today comes up to the price tag of that one curtain light.
Yeah. Nothing even close to that. But it's a good deal. They have a good deal on it, and I think because it's branded with that movie, right? Because if you look at the regular
Yeah, the
version,
Wild
it's
Robot.
still, yeah.
Which, by
I
the
think that's
way,
the reason why
if you haven't seen that movie, it
I
was
haven't
really
seen it.
good. It was really good. Um, we've been on a movie kick lately. So we saw that a while ago. We saw Conclave, which is a fictional story about electing a pope, which has always
Oh yeah.
fascinated me, the process that they go through. That was a phenomenal movie. Um, we saw Red One, which here's the other, this will be my other recommendation. Go to the movies over the holidays with family. That's what we
Yeah.
do. When we get like family gifts from like grandma sends a check for the whole family, we just take everybody to a movie. But we saw Red One. It was pretty good. Way more profanity than I expected there to be, although I should have just kind of assumed that would be the case with
Yeah.
Captain
It's an
America
action
and The
movie.
Rock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
rock is in it. Yeah.
So, but it was super good. And then we went and saw Wicked, was just phenomenal. Now I'm into musical theater, so if you're into musical theater, that's definitely
Yeah.
um, definitely something to go see. But um, but yeah, so we've been on a movie kick lately. So those are all we're seeing. So anyway,
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Nothing replaces that experience of everyone getting together and going to the theater. I know lately you can give it a couple of weeks and watch it in your home now. You know what I mean? Without having to go through the hassle of sitting in the theater and all that. But man, it's an experience. You know what I mean? And it's an experience that I wouldn't trade for the world. It's fun. Everyone just going, and yes, we sneak our popcorn in and then still buy popcorn. It's just all part of the experience, right?
yep,
Like it's yeah, yeah, nothing replaces that. So I agree with you, Greg.
yep.
Get the family together, go see a movie, and if you're a horror fan like me, you may know that there's a Dracula, uh, another remake of Dracula coming this holiday season. I believe either on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. So if you like horror movies on Christmas, check out that Dracula movie too.
All right, Jason, did we spend enough money today?
Yeah, I think so. I think I kept a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. I kept that kind of close to the vest because we have listeners, and but yeah, I think we gave a good wide range of gift ideas that
Yep.
I think people can manage. So I'm happy with it.
All right. Well, we'd love to hear if there was anything we missed or anything you'd recommend for all of our subscribers, and maybe it's something we talk about on another show. Today, actually, if you're at the end of this, you already know this, but I'll probably just drop this show today. That way, you have an extra day before
Yeah,
Thanksgiving and Black Friday to think about your lists and stuff like that. If I can get to it later today to get it out and published. Um, just a reminder that we don't commit to dropping shows every week. I don't.
yeah,
Next week is the day before I leave for a week of Disney again, so I'm not
yeah,
convinced I might be wrapping up other stuff to be able to record next week. So who knows? So, and we
yeah,
definitely won't
yeah,
record the Tuesday after that because I'll actually be in a park. I'm not taking my podcast setup into Disney, although that might be pretty cool to actually do something from in the park there. But I think I'll pass on that this
yeah.
time
No,
around.
enjoy your
So
time.
yeah, yeah.
Enjoy every
So
second.
yeah, hit up those comments. Let us know what you think. And Jason, you got anything else for us?
No, guys, enjoy your holidays. Get to the movies. Spend time with your family. Enjoy every moment that you can because this stuff, time doesn't wait and it just breezes on past. So enjoy every minute with your family. Everyone is coming from out of town. Be careful on the road. And yeah, we'll see you the next time.
Thanks, everyone.